like something that I don't like.
So somehow I'm one of them now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start and go start to finish. Our person of interest, the what do I call them? The person with the last word, Melissa Mello. Will you kindly come forward, please? Melissa Mello, who's in the house. Give her a round of applause. She's starting the second half. She kicks off, ends the second half. We're going 3 to 4 minutes here, folks, ladies and gentlemen. 3 to 4 minutes because I don't know how much time we really do have. Thank you very much. Don't you worry about that.
Hello.
Oh yeah, she knows. She's professional. She
I'm a
knows.
professional.
Very good.
There we go.
I'm gonna do an old one and new
How
one.
old?
Last year.
Oh my. Rock.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta get her going.
I'm gonna let everybody settle in.
Yeah, settle in because I'm.
No rush.
Can I brush my teeth?
Only if you do it right here. In front of everyone.
I know what toothpaste you use.
I gotta make this.
Tom's. Oh, Tom's and King.
Push up your face.
Okay.
Sorry, there we go.
I still don't really know the title of this one.
Where's mine?
There's something about the vastness of the desert, you said. The way the sky opens up, stars poised like so many dust particles in a beam of light at dawn or dusk. And it is more aromatic than desolate, a sharp, sweet shrapnel smell when the rain comes, oily like leather, like tobacco bitter pungencies. I pick up earth, bones, and bullets, a mother bunch for the sensing. To render barrenness is to deny a cusp, a wing, and a sadness deep as canyons run is no excuse for death. A quick plasma pop sends embers shooting into ash. Where fire once flickered as necessity, entranced onlookers heartily asked respect. There are now greedy screams, irreverently beaming thieves. Rusted hatchet blade on splintered wooden handle rests among boxes of kindling. We are not built solely for city living. Safety is the riptide breath of a slumbering dog, the tinny whistle of a hummingbird, every corpse pose and inevitable ending, a part of a gun. Fragility falls off like a band-aid on wet skin if you let it. You hold on to your saguaro boot canteen by its dead, woody ribs and drink. Thank you.
Yeah!
Great.
I wrote this one a couple weeks ago. It's called Philosophizing on Mount Davidson. Eucalyptus trees cradle nests of ferns in crooked arm nooks like new mothers. A fallen, barkless trunk is tattoo carved with termite paths, each terminated by a tiny hole as abrupt as a period at the end of a sentence. Fog flies through on wind so fast it looks like a VHS tape of life on fast forward. We humans perceive the passing of time as relative to how much time we have thusly perceived as past. My dog meanders with me through the narrow, overgrown trails. He is ever present in now as any average animal always will be. I gaze at the cityscape in the distance and think how nice it would be to live life as untamed and carefree as the forever rambling blackberry brambles.
Thank you, Melissa Mello, who will come back at the end to close us out. Remember, you got 3 to 4 minutes right now. And now, Rob! I always say it that way. He hasn't complained about it yet.
Is it a Dick Van Dyke thing?
You know, it's the first time I've heard that name in some time.
Boy, 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
This shift, I don't know whether I'm happy or not. There's a poem that I'm not going to do now that I was actually frightened to do. So here we go. Eros Ovaria. 1,000 inhuman journeys on the path to giving you love. All this world's selfish savagery, ever struggling to rise above. Learning to make you totally free, seeking the grail of humility. Learning to escape the tyranny of me in the covenant of carnality. Tenderly, patiently, unconditionally, worshipfully, to love you so gentle and wild. Tenderly, patiently, unconditionally, worshipfully, to cradle your cooing child. Laughing arms I would extend, should you love another. Whomever you embrace, so shall I, be they he, she, or other. This world makes love a prison. Never again may human be slave. Let me consecrate every beautiful hair that you refuse to shave. I'll reach the depths of your ocean. Teach me to help you thrive. And when I kiss your beating heart, then shall I know I'm alive. Eros supplicant. Do you know how it feels to give a woman the greatest sex of her life, yet be yourself denied that same carnal flight? The sharing of spirits, wiping of walls, fracturing of fears, where being is but beating hearts, remembering a language lost for 10,000 years. To live this reality, even if incomplete, is more transcendent and ecstatically sweet than the sublimest herb, or the purest blow, or bouncing on the moon, a Miles Davis show. And if this half-life is my sad, sacred fate, if my own heaven forever must wait, then I will blaze my next lover with holy fire. I will outdo myself to love her ever higher. I will serve the goddess with joy and humility, and dream of the woman who will lead me to perfect tranquility.
Thank you, Rob. All right, give him a round. And now, the charming debonair, wondrous, Mr. Alan Harris, kindly come forward here. He will be followed by Ben Renner, a new person Michael Hathaway knew, Wendy Walters, Armenian, then Richard May, Lawrence Ferlinghetti, Charles Hawtrey on the Deaf Aid, and
Alan Harris.
Alan Harris.
Rob!
You did that well. Too well. You did too well.
That was good.
Rock and roll is my fountain of youth. It keeps me immature, and my immaturity keeps me young. When I'm 80 years old, I'll still be blitzkrieg bopping to the Ramones' first album, possibly breaking a hip in the process. But then I'll be given morphine for the pain, which will call for the playing of Sister Morphine by the Stones. Hearing Roll Over Beethoven playing on a loop in my head, I'll duck walk down the main corridor of whatever horribly run state-sponsored nursing home I wind up in, possibly breaking a hip in the process. I'll be given drugs to calm me down and make me act more like a normal octogenarian, but they won't work because the drug known as rock and roll will still be coursing through my veins. I'll jump up and pogo out the door, possibly breaking a hip in the process. I'll commandeer the facility sound system and blast Iggy and the Stooges, causing some residents to die immediately just from the visceral impact of the music, while others will perish attempting to dance to it. But dance we must, even if the end result is death. Rock and roll demands it. I'm just kidding, I won't make it to 80.
82.
This piece wrote itself. It got tired of waiting for me to write it, so it wrote itself. I would have written it, but I'm suffering from a severe case of writer's block, so this piece took matters into its own hands and wrote itself. It just couldn't wait anymore. It needed to be written. It had something to say, something so important that it could no longer wait for me to work out whatever stupid and trivial 21st century first world problems with which I've been grappling. It knew that if it waited for me to write it, it might never get written, and then the world would be denied its keen insight, its trenchant analysis, its unraveling of the mysteries of the human condition. It felt that it might provide a much-needed large-scale emotional and intellectual catharsis, that it might bestow enlightenment where once there was ignorance, that it might contribute to the healing of the spirit of planet Earth, that it might somehow help to bring about a revolution of thought and action the likes of which the world has never seen. But it couldn't do any of these things if it was just sitting around waiting for me to get my fucking shit together. So this piece wrote itself. Thank you.
All right, we have a new person here, Ben Renner. Give him the treatment, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Just so you know, that's our way of welcoming you.
I feel at home.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I have two short ones.
Beautiful.
Spoken word. Testing 1, 2, 3. Mic test 1, 2, 1, 2. As I stand on stage, my fear melts away on stage. Share a word or two. Hush, hush, I have a word or two. Most words won't be remembered. I ask to be remembered as a bear, a simple spoken bear on stage, a word or two. Just remember, growl like a bear.
Yeah, catch him off guard.
Something for nothing. You're always asking for a smoke. You're always asking for some pot. You're always asking for something. Always asking for something for free. When it comes down to nut up or shut up, you want free, you want free. Poke you with a needle, stick or slap you with a happy face. Now you got something for free. You got AIDS for free. That's it.
All right, thank you, Ben. And now this is another new person, Michael Hathaway. Michael Hathaway. All right, bring him up here. We talked before the show started. He owes me $10. He lost the bet.
This is kind of fun.
Thank you.
Although I think I may be too naive and innocent for this crowd.
Oh.
Well, I
Much
do have,
closer to the mic.
Yeah, closer, and I'll boost it up there, yeah.
That's it.
well, I do have a long life of activism, but these poems are in the bed. So, Dionysus considered. Lust may be others' word for divine moods not knowable to them, and sometimes of searchers who, not strong enough, repent the dazzling intensity. Forever fresh the holy conjugations come, new in naming, clothed in flesh forms, fullness, motions, epiphanies in delicious, infinite proliferation. O sweet faces of the soul and flesh, O unspeakable, O affectionate awe, O worship, happy worship, merging with thousands, I wake into you. What mysteries our eyes, our hearts, and hips do hold. May you ever dance before and in me, triggering life. Oh, happy, happy worship. So that's Mr. Dionysus. And this is for a former love. Years ago I was inspired. I don't read Catholic sources often, but St. Catherine of Siena supposedly said, all the way to heaven is heaven. So I call this poem All the Way to Heaven. You roost so intimately on me, or I on you, riding slow, squishing so firm deliciously, no hurry, as love's pump sweetly sluices love's exquisitely welcoming walls. Never hasting, just wondrously riding, riding as if all day, reining slightly, laughing, holding back. We'd even tease eternity, lightly, solemnly, making a mystery, just making a play, till spirit aches unbearably to faster flow through hearts and flesh, and drives us roaring in startled hot mad awe, shivering, wet, racing all the way through heaven's door, blurring away earth's time and earth itself, as we melt, melt, melt into days, crowing, crowing, exultant, sighing, sighing, ecstatic. As we, unmoving, lie later toppled in exhaustion, love-making's intimate final miracle appears. Our loving languor basks transcendent in godly resting. We are newly, tangibly, suffused with grace.
Thank you. And a new person at that. Love it. All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our mini feature of the evening, Wendy Walters, please come forward. Give her a nice welcoming round of applause. A wonderful reader, a heroic person, and she knows how to do the microphone as if she was born to it. She knows everything.
Good?
Yeah.
I'm going to start with a poem I wrote at an earlier time that I love. I was inside and I just was inside the apartment. It wasn't going to have a lot of light at the time. And all of a sudden I just was filled with this irresistible urge to go outside. And this poem just happened on my walk. It's called Feel for Real. The sun is calling me out. The sun is calling me out. Why stay inside and think and plan while the sun is shining bright? It's passionate light. Oh, don't be absurd. My body wants to feel for real. My body wants to feel for real. The flowers are calling me out. The flowers are calling me out. It's okay to be happy and free of such fuss. Come out and play with us. We can offer you more than you've ever learned. Join us now. Oh, don't hesitate. Your body wants to feel for real. Your body wants to feel for real. The birds are calling me out. The birds are calling me out. Beauty's over here, so near and dear. We're singing to you. We're singing your song. Don't be absurd. Don't hesitate. Your body wants to feel for real. Your body wants to feel for real. And that poem kind of goes with this quote from an American mystic who co-headed the San Francisco Theosophical Society for years, named Joe Miller. You can get more stinking from thinking than you can from drinking, but to feel is for real.
There you go. That's true.
Always like that. So I found a poem on Eros that I really like. I don't know the exact author. It didn't say. It just said it was from a website called hellopoetry.com. and it was under a section called For the Sparrows, and the name is Eros. You are everywhere, Eros, everywhere, but here, holding my hand, looking deeply into my eyes and beating within. You can't hide from me, Eros. I see you on her lips. I see you in his gaze. Eros, I dream of you. I cry for you. I wish for you, and I pray for you. Eros, grasping you is like trying to catch smoke. Eros, you are like smoke because you cause me to suffocate. Eros, you are hiding in his heart, a heart that is not in range to hear my rhythm. Look for me. Listen to my song. I'm the dreamer, dreaming out loud, sleeping under the tree. Wake me up, Eros, so together we may climb. Eros, I miss you. Thank you.
Oh no, where are you going?
Is there more time?
No, yeah, that was.
Oh, that's right.
When
I
I count down when it gets to the 5-minute mark, it always beeps.
I
I
heard
forgot
that.
to do that and have it
I
set to count
totally
up.
forgot.
So, my bad.
Yay, I got more time.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So if you ever want to pick that card, mini feature, you get more time.
Yeah, there you go.
So I rarely write a poem really fast, but I wrote this poem like probably in 10 minutes. Too little love. What about you? What about me? What about us? What about we? Too much fear, now too much hate. Too much greed, now too little love. Can't take the news, nothing but the blues. Planet on fire, crazy minds, a mire. What to be done? Tempted to run, hide from the pain, everything insane. Wait a minute, whoa. Where's the real foe? Who is in the know? Let's not sink so low. Not so far from here, the time is drawing near. Dry away each tear, you and me are dear. Too much fear now, too much hate, too much greed, now too little love. What about you? What about me? What about us? What about we? This poem is called Twilight. At the end of the day, as night approaches, barely noticeable while light quietly recedes, the earth and all its waters, birds and animals, and everything present under the fading sun senses an inevitable surrender of vibrant activity into the deep, dark well of receptivity and allowing and acceptance. Out of the invisible, unseen, changing, day becomes night, and night becomes day. The pulsing activeness of doing becomes the receptive silence of being. Humankind is bound to this ever-present, alternating rhythm of life. It is such a part of us in the fullness of our body-mind. Twilight always changes me, for it somehow, by its nature, releases the soul-defying grip of limiting ideas, opinions, and uncreative actions into the womb of life's underground current, where there seems to be a light that lies within, or behind, or despite the strange shadows of life's journey, an invisible energy which has an undeniable healing effect of balancing the forces of life. And I have heard it said that during the period of twilight, both the past and the future are closer to melting away and bringing us into the eternal present than any other time.
So you know.
Yeah, thank you.
It's all right. I want to make sure you have everything.
This is called Somewhere. Soaring deep beyond what has been, the conditioning, keeping the status quo to avoid the unfamiliar, while yet reaching hard for what I wouldn't want to be without. The actions and reactions of my life surely show me this tug of nay and yea. Let me fly high but deep to that unconscious place where I could indeed know the truth, the good, the harmony of what I really am, what I would be if I could, what I feel is there somewhere. Thank you.
Amy Walters, our mini feature in the evening. All right, thank you so much. Richard May. Richard May, may you come forth. Give Richard a round of applause, please. Come on, give him a round of applause, please. I don't hear anything out there. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I'm not going to use this. I kind of got a booming voice. So, anyway, this is a piece written by Anton Chekhov in 1903, and I want to emphasize that this was things that was written 100-some years ago. Okay, and it's from the Cherry Orchard. It is Act 2, Scene 2, and it is Trofimov, moi, speaking to the Potkin. Remember, human beings are constantly progressing, and their power keeps on growing. Things that seem impossible to us nowadays, the day will come when they're not a problem at all. Only we have to work towards that day. We have to seek out the truth. We don't do that, you know. The people I come in contact with at the university, for instance, they're supposed to be educated, but they're not interested in the truth. They're not interested in much of anything, actually. They certainly don't do much. They call themselves intellectuals and think that gives them the right to look down on the rest of the world. They never read anything worthwhile. They're completely ignorant where science is concerned. They talk about art and they don't even know what it is they're talking about. They take themselves so seriously. They're full of theories and ideas. But just look at the cities where they live. Miles and miles of slums where people go hungry and where they live packed into unheated tenements full of cockroaches and garbage, and their lives are full of violence and misery. So, what are the theories for? To keep people like us from seeing all that. Where are the daycare centers they talk so much about, and the literacy programs? It's all just talk. You go out to the parts of town where the poor live, you can't find them. All you find is dirt and crime and ignorance. That's why I don't like all this talk, all these theories. It bothers me. Makes me afraid. If that's all our talk is good for, maybe we'd better just shut up.
Bloomberg, give him a round. We got Al, and Sharon, and Garrett, and Max, and Melissa. Well, actually, several people in there, so we're trying to go quickly here. 3 minutes-ish or something. So
3
you know.
minutes, Wowie.
You can do it.
I was reading one day, and I think that some authors lack something, so they write to make things up.
Yes,
Hi, I'm Tom Holmberg. I'm happy to see you again and be here again.
Yes.
And thank you for your
Support.
inspiration.
Inspiration. Go, darn it, I forgot that. That's your throwaway line.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Okay. Thank you for your
Inspiration.
Okay.
There we go.
A lot of little things are big. And love is not a dirty thing. It is messy. That's it. I got one more here.
Right, that's a good one.
The poet ran out of pencils. He wrote anyway to get it out. Ink is so messy. If people see what he scratched out, they might think that is what he meant to say. I wish I were as free as a bird, but who would feed me? Oh yeah, I could feed myself. Just because the story is finished, it is not over.
Lumberg! Thank you. All right. Al Nightingale, come on up. We haven't seen you in a while. Give Al a round. Then we got Sharon, Garrett, Max, Miguel, Tifa, Nicole, Evie, and Melissa, our clincher, closer, super duper, double dip bulldozer. I'll stop that now.
This poem from my first book, which I call The Philadelphia Train. The name of poem is Vega Christmas Story. I will read first part of this. Like clarinets, blizzards vibrated in apostolic John. Minds and sclerosis run like in dismay to libraries. And there, like smoking pipes of vocal sounds in space, as knowingness where puppies are thrown in the face. And runners, powdered by snow, creak like a cabbage leaves under the still of feelings, moving each move with whistles. Each move in between shrines and church, as a snowball with its wild music pushes and touches us as one whole. You're not a princess, but a girl, from inked and aerial your cheeks. This music inward goes and makes us alien. There's on the road, like a shiver, your capitals and your carved eyelids shiver from pained palaces. Beyond them, in some sinful park where carousels chart gamely, you see a flicker of fair pairs, others are families. As virginity awareness in sleeping father moms the world, their shadows wander on the road and violinist. In front, one violinist is holy, but like a goblin from his bag, so artfully his beaver collar hangs on his neck. He is gray-haired like a garden in sparks of John, birds dead for fun, ring by the frost register's baronet, and light is flying on his lips, sly as a laugh. He speaks, It's time for you, my princess, to fall in love. This going down, they so young man will coax your daddy a million times you nicer than Marina Vladi. There will be many hard affairs and with long jokes. The deathless caches, goblins, bears, and pedagogues. Always a good my lovers, but best a quickest. I'm in the park of violinists, the master trickist. I'll lead you urgently both berries and monsters, and touching flowers with a bow, vague universes. Where lips like lips have something told you with rigid strength, and pushing off from your shoulders, horns going branch, with a alarm in your head and some mirage. The Leshik from the 7th grade, and his eyes rush. He tightly held in the dress suit like in the glove, and varnish hops from his black shoes like seagulls off. He is as if Christmas-like on stage, been read aloud, and his pale lips up to his rage have run and thawed, and branches are floating on his face, and glades are floating, but I must break this and replace strife to my plotting.
Thank you, Al. All right, Sharon Scott Kidd. Luck out, ladies and gentlemen. And, come on, I tell you, watch out. Is that good? Make sure it's good. And I want to make sure you're happy and snappy.
Happy, snappy.
There we go.
Okay. The only thing I have to say about Eros is my ex-husband and I got the first issue. Everybody from the Green Spider and all the coffee houses in Denver came over to read it, and it was dog-eared, and when I divorced him, I left it. Okay. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he's watching me. Tears to a glass eye. My grandmother had a saying that when something was really bad, it would bring tears to a glass eye. Carol was one of my classmates in the 4th grade. One day she asked if my family would come over for dinner. Sure. She had 4 other brothers and sisters, and the house was fun, lots of fun, and it was Sunday, so we were going to eat at 1 o'clock. Sunday dinner was at 1 o'clock, and her parents were always very nice to us. Nice to the neighborhood children. Her father drove the milk truck, and he gave everyone leftovers, milk, ice cream, popsicles. Her mother was a nurse, and she took care of all the scrapes in the neighborhood that anyone would have. Carol had been in a wreck when she was younger, and sad thoughts ran through the neighborhood. But she made it. She survived. Dinner was great. My grandmother and grandfather, the children, everyone ate. Ice cream and cake for the adults, coconut layer cake. It was fabulous. Kool-Aid for the children. It was wonderful. Yum. But dinner kind of went astray in the middle. All of a sudden, Carol yells, "Oh!" And everyone dives for the floor. Well, we didn't know what was going on. And then my grandmother says to her mother, "What happened?" She said, "Oh, her eye fell out." So it was the ritual. We got down on the floor too to search for her eye. Everything was great. We left. It was wonderful. My grandmother looked at my grandfather and says, "Well, now that brings tears to a glass."
Sharon Scott Kidd. All right. I'm sorry about the beeper. I picked that up. All right. Garrett Murphy, who's in the house. Kindly bring him forward. Give him a warm welcome. Thank you, David. Thank you for helping. Everything you did has helped make me feel at ease. Yeah, let me tell you. I lived to hope and breathe. And then we got Max, Miguel, Tifa, Nicole, Evie, and Melissa, like I say. And Max is a new person, so we'll take care of him. Thank you, Garrett.
my idea for a new kind of TV show.
Oh, great.
While I was seated at home one day, I got an idea for a new type of TV show. The storyline went as follows. The media of such and such a country has been taken over by one cold-hearted big brother. It saturates a populace with unquestioning reverence towards authority, large and small, under the guise of heartwarming family values. In this such and such a country, the schoolyard bully, for example, has become the virtuous hero of the dramas, the comedies, the court shows, and news, and even of all three branches of government. And the populace is completely enervated. They have learned to enjoy seeing humiliation, even their own, on a daily basis. Shouting matches are the tonic of the day. No warm and fuzzy with the school children here. Whippings, beatings, slams on the walls, and tests, and more tests win the day here. Police ride roughshod over those who are different, be it by race, nationality, religion, or some other immutable, and are subject to medals, promotions, and venerations, especially if they overreact and kill and reign. Why the country's own caretakers, the schoolyard bully, come to extend the skills learned on the playground and extend it to the city, county, state, and nation, to the rest of the world simply because he can. Now, of course, there must be a few opposed to all of this, but they shall not win. These you see are the new bad guys who are traitors of this such and such a country, and bad guys never win. All have learned to love the perpetrator and to hell with the victims. How's that for a new type of TV show? I sent the idea to the producers of programming. Surely they can see the numbers multiplying in their heads. A few weeks passed before I heard from them. Finally, the response from them came in the form of an envelope, and I got the shock of my life as I read. Dear sir, we regret to inform you that we have rejected your proposal for lack of originality. We suggest you develop an imagination, or perhaps become a journalist. For your work, you see, as written as is nothing more than a simple diary of a very routine day.
Karen Murphy! Thank you. Always good. And now we have a new person. Max, is this Brody? D-R-O-D-Y? Yeah. Give him a round. Come on, people. He's new. All right, then.
Can you do songs?
Huh?
Can you do a song or not?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do a song. You got about 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'll do one song.
Okay, great. Then, so he's going to do that. Do you need time to set up? Can I have?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can have someone.
So you're gonna? I can have someone come in and just.
You can have someone.
Okay. So that brings us to Miguel. Miguel, who's also new here. Give him a round. He's gonna warm up, then Miguel, and then we have him. Where's Miguel? Come on, Miguel. Let's go.
All right, Miguel. Yes.
Give it to us, man.
That's our way of saying hello, welcome.
Hello to you all.
All right, just get really close to the mic because that's Mike likes that. That's what he told me.
All right. I guess the title was Afterthought. I melt and break down, kindness sweetly percolating from the gentle curve your lips make when you smile. I've never learned such love existed. If only a kiss across the ocean, a specter whose grip is vast as the heavens. I kiss goodbye the earth beneath my feet to fly, for I yearn to satisfy the curiosity of what such bliss might feel, if only for a while. A pang short-lived, the length of a sigh. Then I have another one. In keeping with arrows. Honestly, sincerely, to be repetitive, truthfully, I'm in love with fries. Some days I like them curly. A little bit of salt, ketchup on the side. I tasted one so good, I must have damn near cried.
I hear you. Been there. Right. All right. Thank you. All right. So, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Matt, this is the new guy, another new guy. We got new people coming in here. Come on, let's go. Give him a cheer. Let him.
Hi, I'm Max.
You're Max?
Yep.
Okay. All right. He's going to do us a number, and then we got Tifa's next, then Nicole, Evie, and then Melissa closing us out, just so I keep the patter going until such time as. Okay, I'll pull it down a bit there for you.
All right. Still kind of.
Okay, yeah. And then I'll turn it this way.
Cool.
Alright, so I'm going to do a song that I originally kind of wrote as a poem and then turned it into a song. So you can sort of imagine it in poem form. Blast off on a Friday in a brand new bold RV. Adventure is sunlight in 0 degrees. The drive out was so much quicker than I thought it'd be. Numb fingers hover over our guitar. Blankets make a shelter, candlelit by stars. Try to write it backward, it's harder than I thought it'd be. Listen to that playlist at least a dozen times. You can make the pasta that keeps us alive. Memory is taking all we need to give is time. See all the seasons, feel every detail. Elevated meadows at the end of our trail. Sky is a diamond, adventure is a point of view.
Wow. There you go, I tell you. Thank you. Thank you for being flexible with the little switch. That was great. Thank you so much. Come back. Yeah, all right. Okay, so Tifa is in the house. Tifa, where are you? Come forward, please. She's not a new person, but she hasn't been here in a long time, so give her a good round. Oh yeah, just tilt it down. You know how to do these things.
Okay, cool.
Professional.
So
I'll make this a little easier for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
There we go.
So I wrote this piece last night. Yes, I have been awake. Okay, it's a song. Am I sweet? Am I sour? Do I taste like the mood of the hour? Is it salty? Is it bitter? A state of mind. The point of time is its power. Am I sweet? Am I sour? The root flavor, essential choice of the hour. Is it salty? Is it bitter? Do I sense awareness of my own conscious power? Let me give it direct, out of the wreck. I lived it. Rock bottom in hell. The vices can't tell. I'm livid. Bolt and rivet. Rooted in pain. Was I outwitted? Out of it, I got tricked. The magician played me. It was all illusion, intense mental confusion. Give me the tools to kill myself, helpful solutions. Starting with pills to feel real, amphetamine regimen, sleep deprivation, numbing sensations, my medicine, purging, nausea, so furious, killing ego faster, so delirious. Check my whip, it's the mind, time skipped, getting serious. Now's the toxic behavior, out comes the complex savior, dense as syrup, thinking I'm God, feeling the codeine plot, not gonna stop ruining relations, damn I'm burning hot, bridges get lit in the dead of night, I'm alive, give me that Give me that shot. I'll handle my stuff. Spinning to spit, Russian roulette it is. I'm done. Oh, I'm dope. I'll outwit myself, then quit. I'm a magician, got tricks. Am I sweet? Am I sour? Do I taste like the mood of the hour? Is it salty? Is it bitter? The state of mind, the point of time is its power. Change it up like yup. Reinvent on the up and up. Change what's up. I choose my power. Yep. It only gets worse before it began. I could have ran. I made a choice, but rather than understand, all power was given away with a nice little ribbon and accent slurred, but living a lively decision. Abusive, fruitless, only an old rotten nuisance. Having been abused, oppressed, and to depression, the time came to make them feel my pain, my resentment, a double-edged regression, the game of who retained awareness of the repression till we're both ashamed. No mental excuse, bipolar and homeless, now I'm tamed. There's no rentals, you're on the low, yet privilege still the same. I deserve this, suffering more than bliss. I can't even wish for the one to blame. You know their name, 'cause it's you. Yeah, I've done, done. Down to the gutter, down and done. Can't even apologize, having been so cumbersome, rude, arrogant, approved. Got no power, only a bad attitude, like damn. Change it up like, yep, reinvent on the up and up. Change what's up, I choose my power, yep. Do your thing, help yourself, then think with your heart, with yourself, don't sink. Be smart, you can change. On the brink of the art comes to claim your new ways. Out of disgrace, out of that place, save face, deeper depth. Comes the deaf, now create through age, wisdom and grace, your new life. Make way for a new day, save your spot in the spotlight. I choose power, yep, I choose my power, up. I choose my power, yep, I choose my power, up. The plans to decipher, shadow work, heal the lyricist, find the writer, igniting ciphers in real seriousness with the lighter, unweave the web to get it tighter, to build anew, clear the brush, begin again anew. In the end comes the beginning to bloom again, buried or just planted. Time to make room again on the grind, to redesign the whole paradigm from the mind to finally find a point of direction. Follow the signs to intersecting connections, not to crawl, cross, or divide, but to shape the moment of the selfish to the selfless, to know what self is. In that moment, own self, just own it. That's what self is. Give it, go 100, work it, believe the hype. Love the self 100, be extra, feel hella hyped. Then put the work in, be that good person, alright? Choose your power, own it, be blessed tonight, alright. Change it up. Thank you.
Alright. There we go, Tifa. She hasn't been here in a while, but she's back. Alright. Nicole, and you've been here before, right? We don't have to. We can give her a nice round of applause. Welcome her. And then we got Evie, and let's start wrapping it up. And let me frame you, dear. Make sure that you're in the mood or in the. There you go. What a nice look that is. You're good. All right.
All right. This is called bad behavior.
I love it.
I got a case of bad behavior. Will God forgive me because I was mean to that girl? At least she's not my neighbor. Even if she were, I'd still be a little mean. Is that who I am? A 40-year-old woman acting out like a teen? I'm a good 8 years older and not to know better how to navigate bitchy girls with chips on their shoulders. But yesterday I did something I never thought I'd do. She was walking down the hall and I didn't move. Nope, I didn't budge an inch when she made eye contact. I just kept on walking because I wasn't in the mood. Wasn't in the mood to be on my best, succumbing to the side like the rest. She expected me to be like the succumbers, but I had bad behavior. I was a kindergarten grown-up mess. But you don't know what it's like to be petite and brown, my mind whispers. The competition, judgment, defamation. At the end of the day, this girl down the hall, she's just like my sister. I'm ashamed, I don't even want to go outside. But I come from a military family. Put on your boots, don't feel, and don't cry. I'm not too good about the not crying or the not feeling part. Some days you'll catch me in my boots, falling apart, like a brown Raggedy Ann who lost her heart. Well, I didn't apologize and learn my lesson because it's 6 days later and my guilt hasn't lessened. Bad behavior is like a mushroom disease spreading over the forest ground. I think it's done when it's done, but it still resounds. So piece of advice, if you're dealing with a girl like her, move to the side unless you want your forest covered in a diseased mushroom fur. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Nicole, great. What a voice. And now our penultimate performer, Evie, is coming up to be followed by Melissa, our super duper eccentric closer, bulldozer, as I like to call him. Evie, yes. You're the, unless there's another Evie, and I have been horribly mistaken in many things.
Horribly
mistaken.
Horribly
mistaken. Give her a round, please. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Little Evie. And is that's a good height, right? Just get really close.
Yeah, hi.
All right.
Oh, we'd love for you to show us New York. Going home is a different city. Neighborhoods play trick or treat. Sure, I'll be glad to show you around. Here is a building, there is a building. There's the pizza place where a slice is the price of a subway token. Many cents worth of long gone, nobody home. Now here's the park where Jews walk after Sabbath services. Here are the bushes where syringes confuse teenagers with skag. Home. Here in the park, too, is the cloisters, home of art and gardens and intellectuals cruising intellectuals, completing the equation of some kind of 16-year-old. Home. In a corner of the park lies a parakeet, buried by a 5th grader who hated her teacher but revered privacy. Home. 10-year-old reads about rape in the evening paper. What is this word molestation? No response. 10-year-old begins to act like a dictionary in the 3-room apartment of an already crowded neighborhood. Home? Home is crowded with older brothers. Home argues many languages in those 3 rooms. Refugee talk, completing the equation of mass confusion. Home equals confusion to the 3rd power. So many buses and subways to take. D train ends at Coney Island. Older brother bolts back into train to retrieve one of mother's shopping bags. Train turns and leaves with boy. Mother stumbles over policemen on platform, spilling sandwiches and refugee panic en route. Policeman construes import. Boy and bag retrieved. Memory lost and found. Rest of day is roller coaster sliding. Home, I think. Yes, home. 6-year-old girl goes to birthday party, insists on going all by herself. Mixes us house numbers on buildings up that giggle. Buildings begin to weep for girl. Mr. Softy truck rides by with tinkling globes of ice cream. World closes up. Party as painful as people. Home? I know nothing about this home business, just like the dead understand everything after the passing.
Nicely done. Evie! And now, per our arrangement, the person who kicked off the second half, the last word comes and closes us out. Melissa Mella, kindly come forward, please, and give her a round as she does so. And we'll take care of these prizes. There's a large number of prizes, so the odds are that you'll have a chance at one of them because there's a large number of you and a large number of them.
That's really loud. So I was driving to work this morning and I was listening to NPR as I sometimes do, and they were having a conversation about the most recent unarmed black man who was shot in Sacramento, Stephon Clark. And it was fucking infuriating because they kept saying things like, Well, yeah, we're gonna do the investigation to confirm whether or not, the use of force was appropriate, and he was fucking shot 20 times by 2 different officers. Like, when would that ever be appropriate?
He shouldn't have pointed his cell phone.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have had the cell phone.
Can we turn that down a little? It's really feedback.
All right, there you go.
Anyway, so I wanted to close out with a poem that was relevant. I found this one today. I'm not sure how long it will take me to read it. I'll do it really fast.
You're good.
But it is by a poet named Danez Smith, and I believe he's a black trans man, and I believe he lives here in the Bay Area in Oakland. It's called Short Film. 1. Not an elegy for Trayvon Martin. The rain has come, thus somewhere a dead thing is being washed away. This time they've named it a black boy. This time, every time, same difference. What a great, sad thought he is, this dead boy, clutching tight to sweetness. How long does it take a story to become a legend? How long before a legend becomes a god or forgotten? Ask the river what it was like when it was rain, then asked it who it drowned. 2. Not an elegy for Renisha McBride, but an ode to whoever did her hair and rubbed the last oil into her cold scalp, or a myth, the bullet and the red yolk it hungers to show her, or the tale his hands pale and washed in shadow, for they finished what the car could not. If I must call this her faith, I call God my enemy. 3. Not an elegy for Mike Brown. I am sick of writing this poem, but bring the boy. His new name, his same old body, ordinary, black, dead thing. Bring him and we will mourn until we forget what we are mourning. And isn't that what being black is about? Not the joy of it, but the feeling you get when you are looking at your child turn your head, then poof, no more child. That feeling, that's black. Think once a white girl was kidnapped and that's the Trojan War. Later, up the block, Troy got shot and that was Tuesday. Are we not worthy of a city of ash, of 1,000 ships launched because we are missed? Always something deserves to be burned. It's never the right thing. I demand a war to bring the dead boy back, no matter what his name is this time. I at least demand a song. A song will do for now. Look at what the Lord has made above Missouri, sweet smoke. 4. Who has time for joy? Another week, another boy, dead because he's black, and soon more will wade into after without a name or questionable photo on the local news. How do you expect me to dance when every day someone who looks like everyone I love is in a gunfight, armed only with skin? Look closely, and you'll find a funeral frothing at the corners of my mouth hungry for a prayer to make it all a lie. Reader, what does it feel like to be safe? How does it feel to dance when you're not dancing away the ghost? How does joy taste when it's not followed by will come in the morning? Reader, it's morning again, and somewhere a mother is pulling her hands across her boy's cold shoulders, kissing what's left of his face. Where is her joy? What's she to do with a son who'll spoil soon? And what of the boy? What was his last dream? Who sang to him while the world closed into dust? What pure marker did we just kill? What legend did we deny his legend? I have no more room for grief, for it is us everywhere now. Listen to my laugh And if you pay attention, you'll hear his wake. Prediction. The cop will walk free. The boy will still be dead. Every night I pray to my God for ashes. I pray to my God for ashes to begin again. My God for ashes to begin again. I'd give my tongue to begin again. I'd give my tongue, a cop's tongue, to 5. Not an elegy for Brandon Zachary. A boy I was a boy with took his own life right out his own hands. I forgot black boys leave that way too. I have no words that bring him back. I am not magic. I've tried, but I am just flesh, just blood yet to spill. People at the funeral wondered what made him do it. People said he saw something. I think that's it. He saw something. What? The world? A road? A river saying his name? Trees? A pair of ivory hands? His reflection? His son's? 6. Hand me down. All my uncles are veterans of the war, but most of them just call it blackness. All their music sounds like gospel from a gun's mouth. I gather the blues must be named after the last bit of flame, licking what used to be a pew or a girl. I wish our skin didn't come with casualties. I can't imagine a sidewalk without blood. When the men went off to fight each other, the women stood in the kitchen making dinner for white folks. No one said the kitchen was theirs. No one said their children didn't thin, then disappear altogether. So not all the women worked keeping someone else's house in order. My great-grandmother owned her block, a shop where she sold fatback and taffy, red numbers. I imagine that little stretch of St. Louis as a kingdom, a church, a safe house made of oxtails and pork rinds, a place to come to be black and not dead. Eventually, all black people die. I believe when a person dies, the black lives on.
Wow.
His name is Donna Smith. I'm going to write it down.
Thank you, Melissa Miller. Give her another round. Wow. Oh, yeah, I had the name Smith, but I didn't have that person. All right, now we come to that fun part of the evening where all these fancy prizes designed, like I like to say, with your mind in mind, are distributed amongst you.
Game show music.
Yes, we'll take care of everything. So just to make sure that you know that this folded up